Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, I'm doing a personal reflection, okay, about a certain topic that's been on my mind lately, which has been player interviews, and why all player interviews matter, in my opinion. I'm talking about any sport. It could be football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever it may be, whatever field you're working in and you're covering. I am of the opinion that you should want to talk to and want to interview as many players as you possibly can. Why am I reflecting on this today and talking about this in a video today? Well, one, you never know who's watching. I may say something that helps out somebody down the line in their YouTube content creation career or their sports media content creation career. And it's just always fun to give back to the industry, right? Secondly, just have some own personal reflections I wanted to just talk with you guys about. And if you guys like these types of videos, let me know. I'll definitely talk about more personal topics relating to me and my own personal path in YouTube creation and in sports media career as well. And then finally, I say this because I believe in it. I really do believe that all player interviews matter, regardless of what sport you're in. And I've heard people in the past, be it sometimes colleagues of mine, be it other people in other media genres, and even just seeing examples of it where sometimes people are only ever interested in talking to the big name, big ticket players, right? And I just disagree with that. I disagree with that wholeheartedly, especially if you are somebody who is looking to get a footprint or make your start in sports media or YouTube content creation. You should especially want to talk to everybody. I still argue that even bigger, content creation outlets, companies, people, whatever it may be, should still be willing to talk to and should want to talk to as many players as they can because I feel like it's important. Here's a few reasons as to why I feel that it is important. Number one, it tells that player's story. And I feel like that is so important, right? Because look, the big name ticket players, they are going to have their story told 8 ways to Sunday. You're going to see their stories on ESPN, on Fox Sports, everywhere, right? You are going to hear about these players, but those aren't the only players that make up a NBA roster, that make up an NFL roster, that make up a college sports roster. There are other players out there with their own individual stories. Stories that, in my opinion, should be told if those players are looking to tell those stories. Because, and I've said this before so many times, you never know who is going to make an impact. You never know what story is going to have an impact on someone. So I think everybody has a story to tell. I know that that's a very cliche thing, right? But in the world of sports, look, at the end of the day, let's just talk in the context of professional athletes or even college athletes. These are still top tier-esque athletes, right? In whatever world that you're covering, even high school, right? I think it's important to interview and talk with guys to get their story out, right? And to again, highlight guys who might not always get the most attention in the world, but still have stories worth telling. It's very important, in my opinion, because you never know what story is going to have an impact on people. You never know what player is going to make an impact somewhere down the line. Secondly, it gives you interviewing experience, which I feel like is super important just in my own reflections and in my own examples. I remember when I first started interviewing players, really just collabing with people in general, I was so nervous, dude. So nervous. I was just sweating the entire time. I'd be done and be like, holy crap, that was a lot of stress and anxiety, right? But the more you do it, the more you get comfortable, okay? And if you're looking to have a career in maybe YouTube content creation or maybe sports media, you do need to get experience interviewing people. You do. And I'm going to circle around back to that point a little bit later on, but I'm much more comfortable today than what I was when I started because I'm getting my reps in, right? Like any basketball player practicing their shot, like any batter practicing their swing, like any quarterback practicing his throw and his motions, you need reps, right? So interviewing experience certainly does matter. You get better as an interviewer, you ask better follow-up questions, you get more comfortable in the interviewing environment, And it's great experience to have, because if you ever do get a call up to prime time, or a call up to the big leagues where you do need to interview, again, probably some of the more popular people in the world, or if you're on national TV, you're going to feel more comfortable in that environment because you've had similar experiences in the past. Secondly, you never know what it could do in terms of connections and networking, and I'm very big on connecting with people and networking with people. And for those of you who do know, in the world of sports, in the world of sports media, in the world of YouTube content creation, making connections and networking is huge. It is huge to do those types of things, to get those types of connections, to, you know, bring you closer to those types of people, right? It's incredibly important, because you never know when somebody may sit there and think, oh, I remember Jim Bob. Jim Bob networked with me and I did a collaboration video with him. I came away very impressed with him. There's an opening for this website that I write for. Let me ask Jim Bob if he is interested in doing that. It's happened to me before. It's happened to other people I know before. So making connections and networking is huge, because you never know what opportunities it can bring for you. It really can just be scenarios where one day you're sitting there and all of a sudden, I'm not even going to say like a complete life-changing opportunity comes up, but something that is a really cool, fun opportunity can come up for you, and it can be a great thing. That might not have happened if you didn't make the proper connections or properly network, and interviewing can be a great way to do those types of things. Collaborating with people can be a great way to do those types of things. The second to last point I want to make here, guys, is that it adds to your resume. It does. Look, if you are looking to grow in your career of sports media or YouTube content creation, interviewing athletes, interviewing players for whatever sport that you cover is a great thing to check on the resume, right? Because again, you can say, hey, I've interviewed professional college athletes. I've interviewed, maybe high school players that eventually went on to go and do some good things in the college ranks. I interviewed professional NFL players. I interviewed professional NBA players, whatever it may be. It's adding to that resume to say, hey, I can handle an environment that is professional, that might be semi-professional if you decide to go that route with some of those other semi-professional leagues, a college route, whatever it may be. So if you do decide to look for jobs covering NFL teams, jobs covering NBA teams, MLB teams, NHL teams, college teams, whatever it may be, you can say, well, I have experience covering these things. I have experience interviewing these types of players. And trust me, that helps. It does certainly help a lot, in my opinion. Finally, guys, it's exclusive to you. I'm a big believer in being in your niche, and I may talk about that in a separate video if you guys want me to, but I'm a big believer in going down your own path and doing stuff that is exclusive to you, right? Not necessarily, and I understand that there's only so many times you can reinvent the wheel, right? Let's just say everybody's going to make a signing video. Everybody's going to make a X team traded for X player video, right? But interviews can be a very exclusive piece of content that is just specific to you if you do your proper research and if you ask the right questions. If you look back in interviews and see, well, nobody asked this question, nobody asked that question, I'm going to ask those questions. Well, those are questions that you get to ask that person first. That is exclusive to you. If it's a player that's never been interviewed, guess what? Or if you see that they've never been interviewed, guess what? That interview is exclusive to you. Okay? You're the first person to interview that person, that player, in this level of their career, right? Which means you get a lot of exclusive content for that. And again, it just adds to the niche you're trying to make for yourself, to the exclusivity that you want to come with your content. And again, it just adds more layers to who you are as a content creator, as a sports media coverage person, entertainer, whatever it may be. It adds layers, right? And it adds exclusivity to what you are doing. You're not going to find an interview of X player anywhere else, so you got to come check out my content, is kind of the idea. So that's kind of my thoughts and opinions, guys, on why I feel like all player interviews matter. Every single one. It's important to the players, it's important to the people who are trying to get their story out there, and it's important to you as an individual who is looking to cover those players or those people as well. What do you guys think about some of the things that I talked about? Again, if you guys want to see more stuff like this from me, let me know. It was just something that was on my mind. Like I said, I may make something else that talks about like niches and why I feel like having a niche is what is super important in YouTube content creation or sports media. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about it. I'd love to hear it down in the comments section below. But guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.